So I am back down here in Magaluf and I'm talking about sensationalism in the media, in particular in the UK media in this video. Now this is the second video I've had to make about this topic, but I had to bring it up again just because we are once again seeing so many stories all over the press about Magaluf, about Mallorca. So in this video we're going to be talking about what you have been seeing in the press, the effect it's been having on tourism over here and on holiday makers too. And I'm going to tell you a few truths as well, just to try and set the record straight. So anyway, I'm down here on the very beautiful Magaluf beach, which you can see behind me and in front of me. But let's head on towards the direction of the strip where, let's face it, most of these stories have been made up. So anyway, come on, let's go. So we're just coming up to the bottom of Magaluf Strip here, at the bottom of Punta Balena. We've got Stereo Bar to my left hand side, we've got Temple to my right. You can see they're a little bit quiet today, but of course this area really starts to come alive at night. As does this area too, and I'm right outside Magaluf Square. But we are starting to see the rollout of some really sensational news stories about Magaluf. We're starting to see some sensational stories about Mallorca too. Now, I've been on Talk Radio London this morning talking about Magaluf, talking about summer in Mallorca as well, and trying to address some of those issues. And you can listen to a recording of that interview right at the end of this video too. You will have seen my LBC interview as well from the weekend too. And I've also been tipped off that there's a reporter as well from a big tabloid newspaper in the UK, also roaming around Magaluf at the moment looking for some sensational headlines. But are they going to find them? Well, at the moment I don't think they are, because all the talk in the news at the moment has been about the change of restrictions over here in Magaluf, and also the move towards personal responsibility, which I talked about in my video from Saturday. If you haven't seen that video, I'll pin it right at the end of this video, or I'll pin it in comments below. Go and check that out. But it does make me just a little tiny bit angry that the press are looking for bad things to say about Magaluf. They're looking for bad things to say about Mallorca and about coming to Mallorca this summer. Now, if you're the media, if you're watching this, if you're a reporter and you do want someone to talk to, contact me. My email address is alex@mallorcaunderthesun.com. I can help you out with your article, but I really hope that you will not be coming here to make any really negative videos about Magaluf for this summer, because of course this is a party area. At the moment you can see how quiet the party area is. It's in the middle of the day, there are people on the beach, and it's early on in the season. But we're going to see now as we walk up through Magaluf Strip just how large Magaluf Strip is. It's not a big party area, not by any means. It's about 500 metres long, if that. You can see Magaluf Square behind me. You can see the tables and the chairs out as well, and the big screens too. It's not a huge party area, and of course you're going to get young people coming over here wanting to party this summer, and well, that's nothing unusual. Young people are always going to be able to party, but they're going to be able to come here and party as they always have done over the years. The only difference is that it's a little bit more expensive to come here to Mallorca now, and fines are going to be given out to people who are not behaving on the streets. These fines are going to range from anything between 500 euros and 1,500 euros depending on what they do as well. There's a big message here from the government saying if you're coming here on holiday, just be careful, just behave yourself. But anyway, we're going to walk up Magaluf Strip here, and I'm going to talk to you more about what we are looking at in the media and whether you should be worried or not if you're coming here on holiday. So I'm just sitting at the bottom of the strip here in Unique, and I just want to make the point as well that the press absolutely loves stories of British holidaymakers behaving badly over here in Mallorca, but it's not just over here in Magaluf where the problem lies. Now, as many of you know, that alcohol restrictions on all-inclusive hotels also apply over in El Arenal and in Playa de Palma, which is near the airport, and those resorts are very popular with our German visitors too. And I have to say as well, from personal experience, those resorts are a lot worse, and holidaymakers are a lot worse behaved than you're going to find over here in Magaluf. Now, you're going to find the police here policing the strip really quite regularly as well. You see police patrols going up and down the strip and behind the beach as well, regular intervals during the day and the night. But over in Arenal and in the Playa de Palma, it's a completely different matter, and I'll be over there this summer as well to go and check that out and see what it's like too. But there is always, and there seems to be a complete obsession with the UK media just painting a really bad picture of Magaluf, and well, they're going to do it again this summer. So when you're reading stories in the press, please take everything you're seeing with a pinch of salt. Now, there's enough stories in the media too that are going to be scaring holidaymakers who have been working hard all year to get out of a very wet UK or Northern Europe to come over here on holiday. I do not want any of the videos I make to scare you about coming over here on holiday. It's just not the case. So if you're reading stuff in the national press, don't get scared reading that either, because the reality is if there is a huge issue here, then of course I'm going to talk about it on my channel, and I'll talk about it honestly as well, and I'll talk about ways to navigate that issue as well, which is really, really important, and is something you're not going to get in the media. But anyway, come on, let's get up from here. Let's keep on walking up through the strip, and just to give you an idea of the size of the strip, and this is during the day as well, and you'll see how actually tame it is in the middle of the day, and it's a weekday here that I'm filming too. I can just see how quiet it is today. This, I think it's Wednesday lunchtime. Got a few people out in the bars today. It's looking very, very quiet. That tabloid reporter who's over here at the moment is going to be struggling to find much to write about, I think. But let's see, and I'm going to be monitoring the press as well, and I'll react to that story as well if I see anything that really is sensationalised or inaccurate reporting too. So make sure you consider subscribing to the channel as well if you haven't done so already. I'm going to be bringing you more, well, hopefully more accurate news about Magaluf and well, all the other resorts as well, and about the situation and issues facing holidaymakers as we go on into the summer. So the biggest change that we're going to see over here in Magaluf this summer is, well, I'm passing one of the supermarkets here on the strip. Now, they are subject to new restrictions that we have, in that they are not going to be able to sell alcohol between 9:30 at night and 8 o'clock in the morning. But that really is it. And what the press have been rolling out lots of sensational stories talking about alcohol being banned after a certain time in holiday resorts in Mallorca, but it is not the case. Now, the area where restrictions take place over here in Mallorca, in Magaluf, it has actually been reduced. So it really is just this area surrounding the strip here where they're going to have the non-sale of alcohol in mini marts and in supermarkets here after 9:30 at night. All the bars are going to be open as normal. You're going to, of course, see lots of clickbait journalism, whether on Facebook, on the social media networks, online, on news reports as well, alluding to the fact that Mallorca's cracked down so much on alcohol that they're just banning booze altogether, and that just is not the case. So the restrictions, and I've said this before in my last video, they apply to Magaluf, Playa de Palma, El Arenal in Ucmayor, and also in San Antonio in Ibiza, and that's about it. So if you're reading anything else, it's not accurate, it's not the news that you should be reading. So you can see just how big Magaluf Strip is. You can see the Burger King right at the end, which marks the end of Punta Balena. So the vast majority of holidaymakers coming on over to the island for this summer, well, all I can say is many of you are going to have a fantastic time. The vast majority of you are going to have a fantastic time, so do not worry about what you are seeing in the press. Now, if you're coming over to Magaluf as well, just be on the lookout as well for any tabloid journalists, because they're just looking to pick up on any bad behaviour. So don't start the stories. Don't be the centre of those stories as well, because trust me, everything is going to get reported on. It's the beginning of the season now, and all the reporters are looking out for stories to keep perpetuating this really, really bad image of Magaluf. And we're going to see this going on through the summer. Nothing's going to change here. Nothing is going to change. Okay, so I just had to make this bit of a rant just to put into perspective the many stories I'm seeing all over the media at the moment. And I have to say, it's really making me just a little bit annoyed. So don't forget, media, if you want to talk to me, you know where you can get hold of me.
Well, I'll tell you who would quite like to shut their borders to Brits, and that is the good people of Magaluf, because apparently the good people of Magaluf are not that happy about Brits abroad misbehaving, and they're now causing so much chaos that they're asking for 9:30 curfews. Let's talk to Alexandra Smith, creator and founder of the Mallorca Under the Sun YouTube channel. Alexandra, very good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning.
Are you reporting into us from sunny Mallorca?
I am. It's a slightly cloudy day today, but yes.
Very nice too.
In Mallorca.
Very nice too. What on earth is going on? I mean, Magaluf has always been, you know, a pretty bouncy kind of a place. It's always been a place where younger Brits go. It's supposed to be cheap. It's supposed to be cheerful. It's supposed to be wild. I mean, that's what it's for, isn't it?
Of course. But this summer, we have a move this summer towards holidaymakers taking personal responsibility from when they come over here on holiday. Now, a few measures have been put in place, but I don't want to worry anyone who's due to come over here on holiday. Simply, the restrictions are that they're closing the shops that sell alcohol around the Magaluf Strip area from 9:30 at night until 8 a.m.
Right.
So it's very little change this summer, to be honest. We've had a lot of scaremongering in the press, but holidays are going to go on as normal. It's just everyone is asking for any holiday makers to take some personal responsibility if they're coming over here.
So what effect will that have? I mean, presumably when you say shops that sell alcohol, that doesn't mean bars that sell alcohol, does it?
No. The bars are going to stay open as normal. Right. The terraces and bars are going to stay open as normal. You can come over here, you can drink. But it's a move towards personal responsibility, and there's a real crackdown on antisocial behaviour as well. So anyone caught misbehaving in the streets, they could be slapped with either a 500 to a €1,500 fine as well. It's going to make that really expensive holiday even more expensive if anyone misbehaves. So We're just asking that people come over here and just behave themselves. But there's no crackdown on fun here. I just want to make that really, really clear.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Listen, I'm not suggesting that for a minute, because we know that mayhem can be something that goes along with a lot of people who travel in the summer. You know, it's very hot. They have too much to drink. They get a bit carried away. What have they designated anything particular in terms of what antisocial behaviour they don't want people to be carrying on with?
Well, we don't want people drinking in the streets. That's really the main thing. Or doing anything else they shouldn't be doing in the street.
Or having sex in the street, or fighting in the street, or anything like that.
Yeah,
usual British young people's holiday.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that a big campaign is starting today as well. We've got the British Embassy on the island today, and they're encouraging people partying in Magaluf to stick with their mates as well. Big campaign surrounding that. No one wants to see anyone passed out in the streets or anything alcoholing going on this summer.
Right.
So it really is more of a move towards everyone looking out for each other, taking care of each other, but coming out and having a good time as well.
Yes.
And respecting us residents as well. So.
No, exactly right. We saw, actually, funnily enough, we were looking at a video yesterday, or some pictures, I should say, of a guy walking around in Palma in Mallorca, in the capital, just wearing a sort of pair of Speedos. Are there any restrictions on what you're supposed to be wearing while you're out and about? Because they're not very happy with him. They were like, why is somebody like him walking around? Bizarrely, was wearing proper shoes as well, and his Speedos, and he looked ridiculous.
I know. I mean, we get that every summer. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you're going into Palma, if you're going to the city, just put some clothes on. You shouldn't be walking around with...
Yeah, no, listen, I have been there. It's got a beautiful cathedral, and it's got some fantastic restaurants and shops, and why anybody would think, if you're not at a beach, that you can walk around. I mean, it's one of my bugbears. I said this the other day. You know, we had a nice hot weekend just in the last few days, and as soon as it happens here, people start taking their shirts off, walking down the streets in London with no shirt, and it looks ludicrous.
It looks crazy, I know, but we're going to have more stories like that coming out of Mallorca this summer, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, absolutely. But meanwhile, I mean, we've had several sort of stories here as well from different parts of Spain, where particularly Marbella on the mainland, where people are a bit fed up with all the Airbnb-ing that's been going on. Is that an issue there as well?
It's a really big issue here. Well, I've been living on the islands for 19 years now, and it's become increasingly hard to try and find affordable accommodation on the islands. They've got a lot of apartments here have been sold off, and they're being used either as Airbnb properties or by people who literally just come here for 3 months of the year. And us locals are increasingly finding it very, very difficult, and it's very expensive to rent now, particularly those working in the resorts as well. So you're finding workers are having to live in the countryside and then try and get the bus over to where they're working. That is the nightmare. I have to admit, it's not great.
Yes. Well, I mean, another big summer coming up, so I'm sure, Alexandra, there'll be good parts of it as well as staying away from some of the places that you know to avoid, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be a great summer. It always is. Always is. There'll be lots of news stories as well, so we're just prepared for that
Okay,
too.
well, keep in touch in case there's anything you wish to tell the nation. This is the place to do it, okay?
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Alexandra Smith, thank you, creator and founder of Majorca Under the Sun YouTube channel. I mean, people do go to Magaluf to misbehave. This year, maybe you have to be a bit more careful about how you misbehave and exactly where you misbehave.